Hello, everybody. Wow. Oh, great start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the free to play. Um, so I've just logged on. I haven't done anything else. I did complete my quests for yesterday. I did them all before I went to bed, so I didn't run that risk again. But we have a lot of interesting stuff going on. So first and foremost, I haven't even really taken a look at the new fusion. Um, Let me see if I have it. Man, it drives me nuts that sometimes they have access, like I mean like the content creators get access to this stuff before um I do, because it's hard for me to find like the clip of it or the image of it. Um so I'm just going to Reddit right now. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see, they even had to use a screenshot of it. Um All right, let me pull this over. We're going to talk about him real quick. I haven't had time to really analyze his kit. I did see as an ally protector, great for clan boss. So 3 times at random, each hit 40% chance of freezing. This is huge for Fire Knight Hard, which is probably one of the more difficult pieces of content right now that many players are struggling on. So to be able to have this ability um, is very, very handy to have. Removes any stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, and petrification debuffs from all allies. So it's a mini cleanse, because it only removes specific crowd control abilities, which is interesting and good. That the fact that it also takes away petrification. I mean, I guess all cleanses do. So um, that's not as exciting. Okay, and then a 60%, the big version of decreased defense on all allies, and then ally protect. Um, Really, really solid. That's great for clan boss. That's huge survivability. Ally protection is very, very good for clan boss. It's on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Then we have an AoE attack, 75% chance to freeze, 100% when booked, and a 75% chance of reducing the turn meter of all enemies by 30%. That's really, really good too. The turn meter control on this guy is like a lot of crowd control, good turn meter control. Whenever an enemy tries to place a freeze debuff on this champion, instantly transfer it from this champion to that enemy. This guy is anti-Torment for sure. Whenever this champion is killed, revives them with 30% HP and 30% turn meter, and places revive on death buff on them for 1 turn. Hold on. When he dies, he gets revived with 30% HP and 30% turn meter, and then still gets a revive on death buff for 1 turn. You have to kill this guy 3 times? Is that am I wrong about that? So you kill him once, he revives, 30% HP, 30% turn meter. Kill him again, but he had a revive on death buff on him, and he would revive again. So you have to kill him 3 times. Interesting. Um, Very interesting kit. Very, very good for, I would say, PvP, and very niche for Fire Knight Hard. Um, well, and you know what? Honestly, just kind of good in general because of the ally protection and the decreased defense. Um, like it's definitely a very solid champion. It also, we don't know this for sure, but it indicates that they're a defense champion, so it's possible that these abilities are based off of defense, which is really, really good because defense champions by default tend to have higher base defense, therefore easier to keep alive as well. So, very interesting champion. Would I go for this guy on the free to play? Probably not. I do really, really, really want an ally protect champion, and he would be that ally protect champion. However, we are just not in the position on the account yet to be able to compete for uh, a fusion or a fragment summon. What I would like to see on my account to pursue a fragment or fusion summon would be um, being able to farm level 20 on all stages of dungeons is probably my biggest kicker. So, for example, I used all of my energy today to do Spider on stage 18. I think I did. What's my highest unlocked stage? Sorry, my computer's being a little slow. Yeah, so I did stage 18. You'll see, like I've got it down now that Geomancer is where he is. I've got the turns down and the time down. You'll see, like this is what I was doing. So I might be able to push a little bit higher, but I do doubt it. Uh, Regardless, um, this is where I'm at, stage 18. I did that for a large chunk of today. Not you can see I didn't spend all of my energy. I think I gained like 500 energy for logging on today. Um, 650. Yeah, so I wasn't fully maxed there. Anyways, my point, or I was maxed, but my point is I spent a lot of energy today, and in the tournament, I gained all of the first reward. It's just, because I'm getting so many 4-star pieces of gear, which makes such a difference in the rewards that you would get. Like 8 points for a 4-star rare, versus you're getting 5 and 6-star epics and legendaries. So 8 points for a 4-star rare versus 17 points for a 5-star epic, or 20 points for a 5-star legendary. Like, when you're getting more of those at the higher difficulties, of course. So, and I wouldn't change a thing. I did that because I was just double dipping and I had extra energy and needed to spend it. So it wasn't something where I was trying to compete in that tournament. I was just spending my energy, because I had some to spend. But I still don't feel comfortable competing in many of these fusions and fragment summons and the like on this account, because I just don't think that I have the resources. And we also don't know what the requirements are going to be for the fusion yet. So there's a good chance that they're going to require a summon rush. We don't have the shards for it. You could certainly point out my descent into madness, where I summoned shards when I probably shouldn't have, but it I don't regret that. I've had fun. Anyways, I've gone in depth on that. I don't need to go down that rabbit hole again. But my point is that if they're going to start putting fusions behind summon rushes, I won't be able to compete in those for quite some time. Likely, I would say probably 2 fragment summons or fusions from now, I would probably try to go for it if it's a decent enough champion. What would I like about this particular champion, and why should somebody who's further along than me go for it? Well, I would say I would say that let's say I was on stage 20 of every difficulty and I still didn't have Ultra Nightmare on farm. I would go for this champion. Um, he's a legendary. He's defense based. He's gonna have high stats for survivability. He brings ally protect. The other mechanics are nice to have, like the freezing and everything. That's gonna come in handy in arena, which is a place that I would like to progress. Like, that's gonna be good for tag team arena. I could easily put him on a team. It's also gonna be huge value for Doom Tower. And then furthermore, when I would get to, it's one of those eventually down the lines, I will get to Fire Knight hard, and he would be good. Now, I haven't seen the reviews of his kit from other content creators. I don't know kind of the general consensus. I'm just giving my thoughts on it from an account, and again, this is if I could afford to go for him, would I? If my account was exactly like it is right now, but I was just further along progressed, and I had shards, and I knew let's put it this way, I knew that I could complete the event, and I don't have an Ally Protect champion on my roster, I would go for this champion because they bring the Ally Protect on a 3-turn cooldown. That's what you want. So, um, so I would likely go for them. Plus the value that they would give me later on, since I don't have Newt and there's no guarantee that I would get Newt in the future. So if you are at a point on your account where you have shards and you think you can complete these events that will be revealed soon, then I recommend going for him. I think that he's I don't know the official word on him, but I think that if you need those things, right? If you need help on Fire Knight Hard in the future, or if you need a Ally Protect champion, checks those boxes. If I pulled Taragi the other day like I thought, I wouldn't probably not consider it. I'm sure he's probably on paper better than Taragi, but it wouldn't be worth my resources to go after a champion that I think Taragi would be as good, if not better, because I think Taragi has poisons. But I digress. Enough about the fusion, because that's really not something that I think we are going to be able to do on this free to play account for a long time. Let's get to the fun stuff. So we do have a 2x event. Now, obviously, I have been going a little shard crazy, and it feels like it's compounding right now because it's a 2x event. But the fact of the matter is, this is when I want to pull shards. I have a 1% chance at a legendary. This is the best chance that I will ever see from ancient shards, and a 16% chance at epics. We only currently have 4 ancient shards. I am not going to spend gems this time, despite the fact that it is a 2x, and that they are offering a very, very good 10 times chance champion that would revolutionize my account. I'm not going to go all in for them. It's not quite as good as what Taragi would have been, and it's also quite difficult to achieve that. So 10x isn't as much as what a 25x was, right? So that's kind of the thought process behind going for those progressive chance events versus doing the 2x event. So 2x event, we're going to pull the 4 shards that I have. I will continue to pull any subsequent shards that I get on Saturday and Sunday from the clan boss or other areas of the game. On Sunday, on my main account, I'll be recording a big shard pull where we'll be pulling for this event. I'm not necessarily pulling because I want Eva. Honestly, I don't like pulling on 2x's anymore. However, I'm going to pull during this 2x because you guys watch those videos. I get a lot of views and I get a lot of subscriptions when I make the shard pull videos. So I'm kind of incentivized to make those to get more eyeballs on my channel, right? So, but I'm going to pull these here. So we're just going to pull the 4. Here we go. Nothing. I cannot think of any rare that I want on this account. I say that as I get one that is somewhat intriguing. I think he's like supposed to be kind of decent. All allies. He's interesting, if I remember correctly. Hello. Interesting. Cornelia is an interesting champion. I know there are certain content creators that are really high on her. I think Hal Hades is one of them. Very interesting champion. The speed in all battles by 18% is pretty good. I think what's our aura with Deacon? 19. Okay, so Cornelia is definitely going to help my faction wars for sure. My dwarves right now, yeah, Geo, Cornelia, and Morag. Like, this is a solid start to a faction wars team that can get me some pretty good progress, I feel like. So that's interesting. Given where I am in the game, I don't know that she's gonna check off like some of the big boxes that I'm looking for. But we definitely get some support and crowd control for sure, which is gonna help me later on in other areas of the game. So I'm not mad at it. I'll say that. Back to back epics. Hey, Tayrell, that's a good champion. Um, he's been power crept a bit. Um, but we do get the turn meter reduction on his. So Tayrell was probably my biggest epic on my main account when I started playing. I got Tayrell very early. Um, he did a decreased defense, which I didn't didn't have because I didn't realize it was valuable. Um, and then and his A3 hits hard and reduced turn meter, which was really good. So I remember him being a pretty big impact for me. Now, given the champions that I have on the account, he is less valuable. The reason I say that, so he was a big proportion of my clan boss team early on. He was my decreased defense champion and my decreased attack champion, although it was not always consistent. It was on each hit. And he hit pretty hard with this ability. He also was my aura lead with defense in all battles by 25. What is the aura for Death Knight? 30%. So yeah, so at the time before I had decent legendaries and all that stuff, he was a big part of my account. Given this current status of my account, like he's still in my Faction Wars team. Um, I just don't know that I need him. And the reason I say that is because I have Deacon Armstrong. And Deacon Armstrong gives me a little bit of turn meter control. He gives me decreased defense. And he gives me leech instead of decreased attack, which I get from elsewhere, and speed, which I would say, given the direction I've taken my account, is probably more valuable. So I had very slow teams in the early version of my account, but they were very tanky, so I could take hits. Now I have very quick teams that the whole idea behind them is to stop the enemy before they get a chance to uh, hurt me. So I don't know that Tayrell sees a lot of action in this current account. I do think both Cornelia and Tayrell get built for faction wars when that becomes a priority in the future. I don't think that they get focused up right now because I I just they're good champions, but we need to pick and choose who we're leveling up and bringing in, and I don't think that they will make the difference or make a big enough impact on the account per se. Um, I'm I said I wasn't going to spend gems, and it's tempting. This is how you get a pay to win account because you get tempted to the same way I'm tempted to spend dollars in my main account is the same way I'm tempted to spend gems on this account. But yeah, I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna hold on to my gems. I expect to get, I would say, a handful. I would say probably 3 or 4 more ancients throughout this 2x event. Um, where am I on my weekly? So my weekly, yeah, I'll get one from my weekly on Sunday, and then hopefully I get some from Clan Boss. Guys, I want to point out something crazy too. So I did a Clan Boss, a Nightmare Clan Boss today, and I did 20 mil on one key on Nightmare. That would now it's not consistent enough. You can see because my other key was 16 million, so it's not consistent enough to do a two key. But I was super impressed with the progress that I made. Now that's also a bit of luck of the draw. You know, could have been certain like good stun targets for me and things like that. So there's a lot of factors that go into why I was able to pull that off. So sorry, I was just looking at some of the teams on my clan's account, but yeah, so that was really cool. What is that ability? I'm sorry, I'm super distracted here. Um, is that faultless defense? Is that what that is? Okay. All right. Yeah, so I don't really have that much else, and since yesterday's video was quite long, I will shorten this video up today. But a lot of interesting stuff going out there. So if you're going to go for the fusion, best of luck. I hope you guys are able to get it. I do think it's a decent champion, and it should be easier events to achieve. Instead of turn meter events, it'll be based on gear. Instead of arena events that are Shadowkin only, it'll be regular arena events. I think that you guys will be able to, if you have the resources and the the tools, the level, the difficulty dungeons that you need to be at to accomplish it. I think it's a decent one to go for, but I would check before you commit to anything. I would check back in tomorrow's video when I have time to kind of see the consensus and see what other opinions are. You know, I'm just looking at it in a very niche perspective about how is it going to benefit this account. Um, but there may be other opinions that I haven't thought of. So I'm going to do a little research and see what other people think before I fully commit. But I could see the value for this account if I had the resources to go after it. Well, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.